Hello everyone, good morning. Today is another day for our e-learning class, 29th of March 2020, and today is Sunday. I'm very glad and happy to see you well. Today we'll be discussing about a very special topic wherein all of these things are happening around us. To start with our lesson, let's start with our starter. I have here a question. What do you think is the best way to move the box? Once again, what do you think is the best way to move the box? You can write your answer in your whiteboard. Okay guys, I hope you write the correct word for this particular question. What do you think is the best way to move the box? So maybe some of you, they answered push, or some, they answered pull. Both of these words are correct. Let's continue. So today we'll be discussing about under Unit C, Physical Science, and Chapter 3, Forces and Motion. So today we'll be focusing on forces and motion and how forces is done and how motion is being made. Okay, under this chapter 3 we have lesson 1, how do objects move? Again, lesson 1, how do objects or things move? So you can see all of this lesson on the following pages. For our learning objective, objective number 1, identify the factors on objects move. And number 2, we will able to give some examples how objects move. What are some factors to be considered? How and why objects move. Are you ready? Let's continue. For our vocabulary words today, I have here the word force. I have here the word pull. And I have here the word push. As we go on through our lesson, we will encounter all of these words. Okay, to revise or to review our past lesson, we discussed about how light move. Okay, do you remember the word transparent, the word translucent, and the word opaque? When we talk about transparent, it's all about wherein objects wherein all the light passes through. Example, clear glass. Translucent, some light passes through this object. Only some light. Take note of the word all for the transparent, some for the translucent, and for the opaque, no light passes through this object. Like a wood, a wall, or a rock. Okay, so for today's lesson, for our Sustainable Development Goals, we'll be focusing on number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Because when we talk about push, when we talk about pull, it's happening around us. Even for example, when your mom are buying some stuff, some foods, they are using cart. So we need to push, sometimes we need to pull this cart. Okay, for our lesson objective number 1, let us identify the factors on how objects move. Let us continue. Okay, chapter 3, forces and motion. Objects move in many ways. We call the act of moving as motion. Again, objects move in many ways. We call the act of moving as motion. An object moves when it is pushed or pulled. Again, an object moves when we push or when we pull it. And there's something to do with the force. Push and pull. Okay? Push and pull. So that is a force. So a force, it might be strong or not so strong. Okay, when we talk about push, for us to understand more, push is to move an object away. For example, I have here this bottle with water. I will push it Again, push it away from me. Okay, other example. This man is pushing the cart. This man is pushing the wall. This man is pushing the weight upward. Upward. Pushing upward. That is a kind of force. As you can see, this man, another one, and turning off or turning on the lights or switch. When we talk about its forces, this man is exerting more or bigger forces. Is it clear? For example, I will push this bottle up. So only I'm using a small amount of force compared to this man pushing the weight upward. Is that clear? So that is a force. A force can be exerted into a bigger one or a smaller one. Next, pull. Again, push and pull. Pull to move an object closer to you. Closer to you. Push and pull. Okay, to move an object closer to you. Okay, example. This man is pulling the donkey. Another example. This cartoon character is pulling the plant. This man is pulling the fish or the catch fish. Again, pull to move an object closer to you. Push and pull. Next. Okay. As you can see in my illustration here, when we talk about push, it means, what do you mean by this? Move away. Okay? Move away in to this particular object. Okay? So, I will put a line here. So, move away. So, for example, this is me. I will push the door. Okay? Pushing the door. And here, pulling the door to be open or to move the door towards me. Okay? It's clear? So, once again, when we push, we move the object far from us. When we pull, we take the object toward us. Okay. Let's continue. You can make an object move faster by using more force or a bigger force or a stronger one. You also need more force to move heavy object. For example, when the cart is full of groceries or foods, it's hard to push. That's why we need to exert more or a bigger force to push a heavy box or a cart loaded with so many stuff or things. Again, you can make an object move faster by using more force, or you also need more force to move an heavy or more heavy objects. Let's do this activity. Okay, listen well.
Hi, I'm Jared. Welcome to Fun Science Demo. The big idea today is that a force is a push or a pull. Through science, we've discovered that if I give a little push, a little force is created. And if I give a big push, a big force is created. But it's not just us who can do the pushing and the pulling and create the force. Lots of other things can create the force, like air. So take a look at this. I'm going to put some air in this balloon, and that air is going to have a force. Then we can have some fun with it. So the air is exerting a pressure on the balloon, and I'm going to put it against the table. What do you think is going to happen? I think the air is going to exert a force that's going to push down on the table. What happens when it pushes on the table? The table's too heavy to go anywhere, but the balloon's light enough to take off. It almost looked like a jet taking off. In fact, that's how jets move forward. That's not how they fly. They use their wings to fly, but the jet engines, They take air in and force that air out with a lot of pressure, causing the jet to move forward. Kind of like what we're about to show you. Check this out. So I strung a fishing line across the room, and I have this little straw slider threaded right through it. I'm going to attach a balloon, fill that balloon with air, let it go, and see what happens. So now I have the balloon attached to the straw, and I have air under pressure in the balloon. I just need to move the camera so that you can see the whole launch. So we're cleared for takeoff. 3, 2, 1. So what happened there? Well, when I let the balloon go, as I was holding it on the table, the air was pushing against the table. When I let the balloon go here, air was actually pushing against air. That's what moved the balloon forward. Forces. A force is a push or a pull. Air can push. Science is cool. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our links in our video description.
Okay, so as you can see, this simple activity, there is a force and there is a motion. Okay, so it means in this particular activity, the balloon moves forward because of the force. There's a pressure into the balloon because there is what? There is air. So as this man releases the balloon, the pressure, the force will be moved, or it will be appear into the balloon, and the balloon will move forward because the air pushes it. Okay, you can do this one at home with the guidance of your parents. So let us see if we can identify the following. So one, we already identify some of the way how object moves or things. And today, let us see some examples of how objects move by push or pull. We will identify whether this action or movement is a push or pull. Are you ready? Grade 2. Let's start. Okay. So in this illustration, a man uses a force to move a stationary lawnmower. A smaller force. The bicycle, as you can see, is moving by this man. This man is using bigger force. At the same time, the boy playing a football also using a bigger force. And this baker also using a small force to make a pizza or bread. Let's continue. Another example, basketball. A boy is playing basketball. He needs a bigger force to shoot that ball. Okay, a man or a boy is tapping the ball. He needs to exert a greater force. And also a boy kicking a ball, he needs a stronger or a bigger force. And these are some examples of how objects move. The farther you move an object, the more force you use. Next, an object will not move very far if you push it gently. If you push it hard, it will go very far. Clear? Next. So friction changes the way things move. Friction is a force that shows down or stops an object from moving. So there's a factor. Example of this. If the surface is smooth, we can move the box easily with a smaller force. While if the floor is rough, we need to push it very well, or we need a bigger force to move this box. Smooth surface offers less friction, and rough surface offers more friction. That is the comparison between smooth floor or smooth surface and rough surface. Okay? Next, for our activity today, we will identify the following. So, ringing the doorbell is what? Push or pull? Giving a wagon ride is a push or pull? Flying a kite, push or pull? Dialing a phone, push or pull? Opening a door, push or pull? Kicking a ball, push or pull? Tug of war, push or pull? Shopping, or pushing the cart, or pulling the cart? Shooting a basket, it's a push or pull. Lifting weights, it's a push or pull. Putting on gloves, it's a push or pull. Brushing hair, it's a push or pull. So identify the following illustration, whether it is a push or a pull. So I hope you get our